This is a story of the Little Mermaid. In the deepest, bluest sea lived an old sea king and his 6 daughters. Sea princesses come to be known as mermaids. The youngest princess was by far the most beautiful. When she sang, no sound in the sea or on land could compare with the melody. But the little mermaid longed for the world above. On her 15th birthday, the little mermaid was granted permission to rise out of the sea and sit on the rocks in the moonlight. She watched as ships passed by. On one ship sailed a handsome young prince. When he laughed, the little mermaid felt her heart ache with a new longing. Suddenly a storm wind blew, lightning cracked. The sails on the prince's ship billowed. Great waves rose in the sea, pounding against the little ship and tossing it from side to side. The ship began to sink. The little mermaid saw her beautiful prince thrown into the sea. Diving deep underwater, she rescued the prince and cradled his head in her arms. Then she carried him through the stormy sea to the shore. When she reached the edge of the beach, the storm had calmed. She pushed the prince onto dry land and kissed the water from his face. The little mermaid heard someone coming. She dove into the sea and hid in the seaweed. A beautiful young woman rushed to the prince's side.
"Well, aren't you handsome?"
The girl said softly.
"And rich too, if I don't miss my guess. It's about time good fortune came my way."
The mermaid watched with deep sorrow as the girl and her friends carried the prince away. The little mermaid returned to the sea kingdom, but she could think of nothing but the prince above. Gathering all her courage, she swam to the domain of the sea witch to find some way to join her love.
"I will give you what you want," cackled the witch, "but the price will be high. If this prince loves you more than all others, you will remain in his world. If, however, the prince loves another more than you, then on his wedding day you shall join the spirits in the heavens. And for this bargain, you must give me the most valuable thing you possess, your beautiful voice."
The little mermaid agreed eagerly. She fell into a deep sleep. When she awoke, she felt a strange sensation in her fin. But when she looked, her fin had been transformed into perfect human legs. Before her stood the prince, his clear blue eyes fixed on her. When she opened her mouth, she found she had no voice. "You poor lovely creature," he said. Then he carried her to his castle.
"What did you drag from the sea this time?"
said a horrible voice. The little mermaid turned to see the very girl she had seen the night the prince was shipwrecked. "This is my bride-to-be," the prince said apologetically to the little mermaid. "She saved me when my ship wrecked at sea." Then the mermaid had come for nothing. The prince believed someone else had rescued him. She thought her heart would break. The next week, the prince had spent much of his time with the little mermaid. They rode horses together and laughed together. Although she tried not to, she fell even more in love with him. The prince's wedding day grew nearer. Finally, the day of the wedding arrived. The bride-to-be had never shown the slightest kindness to the mermaid, and on her wedding day, she was worse than ever.
"You're only here because the prince feels sorry for you,"
she told the little mermaid.
"After the marriage is final, I will not allow you in my palace."
The little mermaid ran from the palace to the edge of the sea. There she cried until she thought her tears could fill the sea itself. The little mermaid felt someone's hand rest on her shoulders. She knew without looking up that it was the prince. "Please don't cry, my sweet. I heard what she said to you. It's okay." He turned her face to his so she could look into his clear blue eyes. Then he continued, "Today has only made me realize what my heart already knew full well. It is you I love. I knew the first day the sea brought you to me." The little mermaid could hardly believe all that was happening to her. The wedding day went to head as planned, only she herself became the prince's bride. The prince declared his vows of love, and they were pronounced husband and wife. They kissed, and at the touch of the prince's lips, the spell of the evil sea witch was broken. "I love you," the little mermaid cried to her prince, for the prince's love had restored her melodious voice. She sang the most beautiful love song imaginable, and she and the prince lived happily ever after.